Hey guys, it's been a while since I've showed off another game, but this one is one I've been enjoying for quite a fair bit, and it's just sort of given me something to amuse me for like a couple of minutes whenever I just want to take a short mental break between work tasks and other things. So this is Crimsonland, and it's a fairly simple top-down shoot 'em up. So in the quests, which I actually completed the more normal difficulty, so there's like sort of six different stages, and each of them have just like basically it's like if you look at the spider's ink, for example, it's just basically dealing with a preset bunch of enemies, and it's fairly straightforward. You get a gun, and you just basically kill monsters that spawn all over the screen, and there's also sort of like power ups and other things, and which you can unlock using the missions. The missions are fairly easy, and so I don't think that's really too much to worry about. But otherwise, the missions are kind of just a way just to introduce you to the different types of enemies that you'll get. So you can see I just picked up a nuke and actually just like destroyed everything. Well, in an area around it, although there weren't any creatures around. But yeah, that's it's pretty simple. It's pretty mindless, but that's actually what I like about it. So I'm using the plus. So this is another power up, sort of like the plasma overload, and that just basically gives me some additional firepower for a short period of time. There's also like a bunch of different weapons you can use, and basically each weapon have different ways of working basically. So that was another plasma upgrade thingy. I should probably plasma overload, and we'll do. And then there's another shock chain, which is sort of like a chain lightning effect. That if you're familiar with the chain lightning sort of like skill in like say Warcraft 3 and maybe some other games. Yeah, I mean the closest thing I can think of is chain lightning that was in Warcraft 3, and then there's of course a bunch of different guns that you can use, which we will get into later when I do the blitz mode or like the survival mode. So here's another one, which is pulse gun. It's not that great in my opinion, and that is quite that is quite the death sound. So we'll just go back to the quest menu and we'll just jump straight into the blitz mode. So the blitz mode is the survival mode, and it's kind of this. So there's like 5 different options. So it's like the first survival is just classic survival. Use weapons and first unlocked in quest mode to score sky high. Rush, can you survive the alien assault with your trusty assault rifle? This one's probably the easiest, so I'll just jump straight into it. I will just point out that I'm using the controller, or although you can definitely use a mouse and keyboard. I'm kind of just using the controller mainly because it's just easier to sit back and enjoy rather than sort of just sitting perked up using my mouse and keyboard. And look, I'll be honest, you'll probably get better results using a mouse and keyboard, but quite frankly, for a game as relatively casual as this one, I don't think it really matters too much. Well, really depending on how antsy you want to get with your score attack kind of thing. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the big deal. Yeah, it's not that much of a big deal. I mean, unless you're really picky about your aim, you want to get the highest score, that sort of thing. So, but ultimately, it's not something I worry about, and that's actually kind of one of the reasons I actually want to show off this game, because it's one of those games you can just sort of sit back with the controller and sort of just enjoy killing monsters and spilling blood all over the screen. And essentially the end failure state is that the monsters overwhelm you, you can't shoot them down in time, and you will die. So survival, rush, weapon picker, limited ammo, random weapons for random points. So nuke, so there's power ups to your advantage. I think I'm just gonna jump straight into the blitz mode because it's just basically a faster survival mode, and then we should hopefully get a bit more variety. So so blitz mode is, like I said before, it's like a survival mode, and so I picked up an ion minigun, which is kind of like basically like each shot has a chance of like hitting nearby monsters, and there's similar other weapons in terms of like there's also like plasma weapons, the shotgun weapon. So here I've sort of picked up a power up called a shield, and which is, well, it's kind of obvious. It gives you relative invisibility for a period of time, and this, of course, we'll try and see in some of the other powers. So you can see this kind of nesting is spawned up there, which is spawning a bunch of monsters. Obviously, you want to kill them, and there's a nuke, so we'll kill them. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, so this is another power up. I haven't explained before, fire bullets, and we got an ion cannon. All right. So obviously this is like a different cannon. It's like a different type of weapon that works differently. And the other thing you probably have noticed is that each different weapon has like reload times. So obviously some weapons will have longer reload times, and the others will reload a bit more quicker, and others somewhere in between. So you can see me sort of just walking around picking up perks, and it doesn't get any simpler than that really. And then so it's like once you kill enough monsters, you will sort of just gain a level, and then you can basically pick a perk. And for at least both Survival and Blitz, the perks are stuff that you unlock during the quests. So obviously you have to sort of like grind through the quests. They're fairly easy in my opinion, so I don't think there'll be too much of a trouble, but certainly for some who just want to jump straight into the survival experience, it can be, you know, feeling a little contentious, I suppose. So what else was I going to say? So it's again, I pretty much unlocked all the perks except the last one. So you're pretty much getting a good view of like basically what you get when you complete the most parts of the game. So there's another power up called the Reflex Boost. I think it's pretty easy to see what it does there. It slows time for a bit. Weapon power up, that's pretty straightforward. Increase reloading and increase firing time. And then there's the freeze, which is again pretty obvious. So, and it's really just that, like, you just run around shooting monsters, and you maybe you try to time your weapons, and you try to time your weapon reloads, you try to time firing at monsters. Although I'm pretty sure most people will just hold down the trigger button like I am doing right now, and because it's just, well, like I said before, it's one of those games that's pretty easy to turn your brain off. So this is an Infernal contract. That means I basically go down to 1 HP, but I get 3 new perks, which is actually quite a good deal in my opinion, when you get good enough. So let me see. I'm pretty quick. That's not. The Unstoppable was not that useful. Firecraft is not that great, but have to go with it anyway. We'll go for more power-ups. But here it means now that I can't get hit, otherwise I would die. So luckily I grabbed the health pack, which is, I mean, health packs are pretty obvious. That's do what they do. So I don't think that much more needs to be said. So, like, the main reason I've been enjoying this game is that now that I've done like all the quests and unlocked almost all the perks and definitely all the weapons, I can just hop into Blitz mode whenever I'm just sort of like taking a few minutes break, and then I can just, you know, kill a bunch of monsters for like 2 to 5 minutes, and then I can just go back to whatever it was I was doing. And of course there's a whole bunch of different types of monsters. So you know what, let's just play again. So I can give a bit more time to talk. Otherwise this will be quite a short video, but actually, you know, I should probably keep it short because there isn't really all that much to say. So you can see I've got like a flamethrower type weapon thingy, which is pretty neat. Except the only problem is that the only problem is the range, but it does some really good damage. So it's definitely a toss up, and sort of like one of those things that you have to sort of like figure out when you get the opportunity to choose another weapon. What else? So, oh, okay, that was quick. Regression bullets and pigment? No, the chinks? Yeah. So, I know I'm not really giving you much chance to read the power up, but, you know, I kind of don't want to spoil the game completely. Rocket launcher? Yeah, it's a rocket launcher. I mean, you get to launch rockets, that's pretty cool. Well, I would think it's pretty cool. Let's see, Barrel Greaser. Random weapon? Nah, I'll take a Barrel Greaser. Sure, why not? Let's have my rockets fly a bit faster. Let's grab that nuke. And quick clear some space for us, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some better weapons and better upgrades as we level up. Should probably kill those nests and loud. So sitting there, grabbing the double experience, and then we'll be raking in the experience. I get Infernal Contract again. Yes. Alright. Stationary reloader. So it's incredibly hard to reload a gun when moving around. You get it. If you stop reloading, you reload the gun 3 times faster. Now this is one of the perks I'll be really enjoying, so I definitely favor this one. Fatal Lottery, 50-50 chance of dying or gaining 30k experience points. Oh no, I fail. Oh well. But yeah, I mean, again, it's a fairly simple game, and you just once you've unlocked almost everything, you just basically pick you up and just enjoy 2 to 5 minutes of just random monster slaughtering, just slaughtering random creatures. There's no story, so shouldn't be playing it full story. It's more like just basically like an arcade kind of game that you can just sit down, pick up the controller, and just play for a couple of minutes, and then while you're taking a short mental break from whatever it is that you're doing, and ultimately just a very mindless top-down shooter that you can just sit down and enjoy for short periods of time. So yeah, with that, So yeah, I've been enjoying Crimsonland. This is Crimsonland, and I maybe decided to pick up this game. I hope you enjoy it for the same reasons I do. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to like and subscribe this video. Ugh. Please feel free to like this video, and of course, if you're not a subscriber, do hit that subscribe button. And so with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.